at you, as somebody who's obviously undoubtedly led a fair share of partner business planning initiatives and quarterly business reviews and worked with partner account managing teams. What's your thoughts on this? Could and how does accurate partner performance data help? And what are kind of some of the benefits? And does it help to drive that less of an administrative focus and more of a sales and business development focus in those account managers?
Yeah, it's another great question, Margaret, and something I feel strongly about. I think, every organization now, especially given the current financial situation, is looking to maximize every human resource, every cost center they have within an organization. So I've run a lot of very small but impactful channel teams. I like it that way, but I do rely heavily on tools to do that. And one of the things you find when you're dealing with thousands and hundreds of partners, the worst thing you can possibly do for security and just for consistency of data is sharing spreadsheets back and forth, and then you end up with 17 different versions of it. So I love when you talk about single source of truth. Having something that you can real-time view with a partner, the partner can view in their own time, your channel managers, your partner managers can view. And in fact, Kenneth touched on this earlier, something that you can share within the organization as well to get alignment and consistency of the messaging and the understanding. So your sales team, your C team, your board can all see the impact and the data that's being driven and recorded on your partners. Kenneth touched on it. We don't want to go there, but just to justify that, why is channel so important to scalability of organizations? But back on point here, it is so common to see 5 or 6 channel managers all doing absolutely independent different things. It confuses partner marketing people because they don't know what types of activities they're supposed to be doing, what's the best thing for driving demand, what's the best thing that's winning deals, what's the actions that are actually closing deals at a better win rate. So getting, there's 3 things I'll mention here. The first one is alignment. I say that a lot. I learned that at Rapid7. Rapid7 never stopped talking about alignment, and I love that. Alignment with your sales organization, alignment in your own channel team, so everyone understands what are the metrics that, Don nailed it, those metrics that you have to just record and see what you're trying to get from your partner. And again, that could differ from partner to partner. So you want to make sure that you've got the right metrics, as Don talked about, recorded, and your channel managers are communicating them out to the partner audience as well. I've seen too many times partners think they had a wonderful, brilliant year, succeeded magnificently, and you sit there and tell them it's an absolute failure, and they're absolutely flummoxed as to why they failed because they think they've done brilliantly. So these kind of partner dashboards and these kind of metrics really help to give the partners an understanding of what the business goals are from your perspective and align themselves to that. The other thing is focus, and Margaret, this is where we talk about having those partner managers that cost money to an organization, running around doing things that have absolutely no impact whatsoever. So it's really important that you focus on partners that are invested. Kenneth talked about training. So if partners aren't doing training, how invested are they in you if they can't take 2 or 3 training courses to understand how to find an opportunity with you? So your partner managers can spend much more time with those partners that are showing that quid pro quo investment back to your organization. You can also get more focus in terms of your MDF spend. So making sure you invest more, not just with those partners, but hey, what about the partners that aren't doing so well? Let's try and invest with them to drive them to do training. So let's do a spiff for training. Let's get more people that good as the other partners are. And then the third thing, and I mentioned this already, but the consistency, right? Just making sure that your sales organization, your C team, your board, your own channel team, the partners are all hearing a consistent message. And, Don is going to nod furiously because he's a channel guy. The one thing that partners cannot stand is complicated. Everything needs to be very crystal clear, simple. Partners don't work with organizations that are muddled and complicated and unclear. So having this kind of dashboard, this kind of data, and presenting it in a clear way is really, really key to success of any channel organization.
Great, thank you, John. And I can see Don nodding furiously there. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. I mean, I think the focus piece is an interesting one that I wanted to pick on a little bit, because I think we're all being in our own program organizations and channel organizations today asked to be more efficient, right? We're asked to be more efficient. Our partner account managers, in some cases, are asked to stretch in terms of the number of partners in which they're having to manage. We're having to manage and be more efficient in our programs. You don't want those investments you're making with your partner teams to be spending time, in their home office, crunching numbers and doing non-selling activities, right? You need them to empower them in the right way. It is an investment in getting this together, but if you can empower them to that focused set of actions, that's going to increase your sales and allow you to be more efficient in your own organization when you're already being pressured in a lot of ways. And the same thing's happening for the partners, right? They're being there's a lot of the environment and conditions going on right now that they're just under as much pressure for profitability and other elements in their business, that they need to be smart with their time and don't have, they need to be laser focused on selling, where we're being successful, where do we need to go play together, and how that's making money.
Right, absolutely. So it goes both ways, right? I think it's and I think we're all stretched. I think we're all challenged, and the more that we can simplify that process. A funny side effect actually that we've seen with customers that have done this is where you've got churn as well with your account managers, right? So account managers may move on, and every time that happens, the partner gets an inconsistent experience because you've got a new account manager who's pulling different data sources, and you get this lag. And at least by having this kind of, again, single source of truth, it creates a consistency in experience as well, so that you don't have that impact of churn as well. Kenneth, I'm sure you've got something to add to that as well.
Yeah, no, you kind of took one of my thoughts there straight away, Margaret. But that consistency, no, it's brilliant. So yeah, because having done this with a number of companies, one of the feedbacks I got from a couple of very senior executives on a number of occasions is, when you put something like this in place, I have 50 account managers, I have 100 account managers or whatever, and there's the old thing is this account manager is absolutely critical, they have a great relationship, etc. But it kind of removes that risk on a business that if an account manager leaves, it's not the end of the world, because guess what, every other account manager should be doing the exact same things with their account, so somebody else can step in. So it's kind of creating that consistency across your organization of how account managers engage with partners. And I'll just make two other quick comments, Margaret. One is the whole ease of doing business. Partners will work with multiple vendors. The easier you are to work with, the better chance you have of winning that partner's end customer business. That cannot be overstated. So putting a PPT or a partner performance dashboard with the proper metrics in front of partners makes their life easier. It's almost like instantly they understand what you want them to do in one picture. And again, simple can be difficult, and everybody can make it complicated, but not everybody can make it simple. The vendors that are making it simple are the ones that are ultimately winning partner mindshare. So I would, if that's one message, I would say, having worked, with hundreds of vendors, and we work with literally, many hundreds of thousands of partners, you're never into the conversation more than 5 minutes when you'll hear such a one is very difficult to work with. But doing a PPT, it's almost like a QBR on the fly. It's literally a QBR running real time, which makes their life easy.
What would you say are some of the best ways or best practices to overcome some of those hurdles and be able to implement things like a partner performance dashboard? Any best practice you can share, lessons learned?
Yeah, no, thanks, Margaret. Yeah, no.